I'm going to start off with a big shout out to two of our listeners.
Is it Matt and me?
I don't listen to this show.
Welcome to Multiple Nerdgasm with your hosts, Matt, Luke, and Dan. Multiple Nerdgasm, your guide to all things nerdy.
So remember last week I offered a trade for some Steam trading cards?
Oh, yes. I do remember.
I've got yours, Dan. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think what's happened with Matt's, though, is because you opened the pack, that sort of messed it up, so I may have to put another request in for you.
I've never received a request from you, I'm afraid. But like I said, the deal stands. So,
but two of our listeners have also offered to give me all their trading cards.
Offered themselves up to you.
Mm-hmm. Craig and Nate have said, yep, I can have it. And they're going to continue to feed my addiction for these things that mean nothing.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's very generous. I do need to point out to Craig and Nate, let's stop feeding his addiction after these cards. Like, cards, fine. Usually, feeding Luke's addiction is not something you want to do. So let's just keep that in mind.
But I am going to be nice. I haven't decided what, but I will buy them a game in exchange for the cards. I don't want to just take them. I'm not that much of a dick.
Buy them a game. I'm pretty sure you didn't buy my game, Luke. I'm pretty sure the game that you swapped me for, you just looked and said, what do I have two of?
Sorry, no. I did purchase that game. Okay. I've purchased Steam Engineers. I purchased a 4-pack of that game.
Oh.
Because the plan was we were going to play it. And that's where Matt's came from, is I gave that to him as part of the pack, and now I've given it to you.
Okay.
So it's my fault.
Now we can play it. Now I have it.
Oh, no, we probably still won't.
Yeah, we probably still won't, but we could. And that's what counts.
We could talk about it.
Yeah, we could certainly talk about it.
We're good at that.
It's on the Xbox now, so I'd probably play it there.
Ooh.
Achievements.
My Xbox is packed away.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But I haven't
Is it going on the boat?
Ages. I've been doing, it's going to go on the boat. I've been doing so much just gaming on Steam and GOG, and I just, I'm not going to miss it. Nothing's coming out during the time I'm moving, so.
What you should actually look at for is getting like Xbox Game Pass on your PC.
Oh, yeah.
You get it on your PC, there's 100 PC games you have access to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I've used that.
Interesting.
Like including, what just came out this week was Fallout 76.
Oh, is that out now?
It's out
Interesting.
as part of Game Pass.
Because I have Fallout 4 on PC because of that, I noticed.
But yeah, so if you do want to give Fallout 76 a try without having to pay money, now's the time.
Well, I still have to pay money.
Try it without money.
I'd have to sign up to Game Pass, and that's not free.
Well, no, you can sign up for your free trial.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, maybe I will.
That's one thing.
I probably won't.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but free trials are starting to disappear.
Huh.
I think, and this is something sort of happened around the start of the pandemic, everyone being locked in. So Netflix and Disney Plus, I think, have both got rid of their free trials.
Really? I didn't know that.
And because if you look at it, everyone already knows what they do. Like, it's not a big shock anymore.
Yeah.
But you do have those people who just always create a new account and get the free trial.
Fuck,
People
that sounds so annoying.
That to death.
Why would I would?
So, and that's why I think, they're starting to get rid of those first month free type of thing, because if you're going to want it, you're going to pay for it. And
Now, speaking of Fallout, Matt, you've been playing a bit of Fallout this week. Have you been playing the original Fallout?
I did.
how'd you go?
I think I started because I got caught in this. You get caught in a YouTube binge-a-thon, and I found a very good series. There's a YouTuber by the name of Joseph Anderson, and he does these very long but very good kind of retrospective videos on video games and other things, films and stuff too. And he did one on the Witcher series. Only the first game is out, and he's got one for Witcher 2, Witcher 3 coming out. And during it, I'm pretty sure just during that video, he mentioned Fallout, and it just clicked something in my brain, and I was like, I got to play the original Fallout again. So I installed it, and I've been playing it, and I'm a little addicted to it. But it's a bit buggy. I don't know. Have you played it recently?
I have.
Not recently.
And I stopped.
Apparently, one of the things you can fuck yourself over. I didn't know this was a thing. If you're playing Fallout and you start reloading saves to try and get better results on things like that, for some reason that fucks up your save, because
as a deterrent, like, is that?
I don't think so. I think it's something to do with the way that it manages memory to do with the saves or something like that. You can end up it'll load the state of the old save game but you get, like, for example, my issue is in Junktown, there's a quest where, you go into the bar at night and you see the fight where the gang members punch the waitress, right? So that happens.
Yep, I remember that.
But before that, right, I got into that sequence in the hotel where you got to rescue the woman from the guy who goes crazy and kidnaps her. Anyway, the way that I saved it where I'd already seen the brawl in the bar, and then I rescued her, and then I reloaded it a couple of times to get a better result rescuing her, and it got all scrambled up. So now when I try and play from a save where I didn't have the bar fight yet, the bar fight doesn't happen because it's got that flag flipped in the save game. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. A little flag that says something has already happened will get flicked and then accidentally saved when it didn't happen yet.
I wonder if that's what's happening with me, because I stopped playing Fallout because I'm at a point where I'm in the prison of the mutant town, right?
Yep.
And there's a guard standing outside the door, and I can't escape. And I've tried every way to escape, and he just kills me every time. And so I went online, I found an FAQ, and everyone just says, when he walks away from the door, run away. But I've fucking left this thing on for an hour. He doesn't walk away from the door. And I've tried standing in every position in the room, and I've tried doing everything, clicking on everything. I'm pretty sure he's meant to be walking away, but he's not. He is.
Has
not.
he ever done it while you were playing, ever?
Yeah. No. I think the first time I played it, he did pacing in the hallway. Yeah, I think.
See, maybe some flag got fucked up, because if that happened and then you reloaded, the bit where it said that already happened may have stayed, and then it loaded the game and then it got fucked. Yeah, that's what happens.
That makes a lot of sense. There you go.
You got to remember, this is a game from the 90s.
But it's still a fucking fantastic game, and I'm
Still fantastic.
Yeah.
You have to get past that first start of the game. It's really hard to get started in that game with the graphics and everything now, because when you start out coming out the vault and you're in that temple thing fighting cockroaches, it's very easy to turn it off and just go no.
Yeah,
it is very slow.
Once I got past Shady Sands, I was like, no, this is okay.
Yeah. And the controls are kind of a little more clunky than I remember them being as well.
It's also not terribly good at, I mean, older games weren't as good at this, but just keeping track of what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. Like, all it says is find the water chip. And it doesn't tell you that I already talked to somebody here and he told me I should maybe check this place and this and that happened. None of that's in there. Like, if I don't remember that, I'm fucked.
Yeah, and it is that now. Games were a lot more punishing back then.
Yeah.
I don't know, Luke. I've been playing a game that's been punishing me a lot, but I've been doing that on purpose because I'm a masochist.
It's a dominatrix simulator.
Practically. No, guys, I've uninstalled Disco Elysium now so that I'm not tempted to play it again.
You've done?
Yeah.
I almost did that.
I played through the third time, finished the hardcore mode, and got the achievement for that, and uninstalled. So,
yeah.
Nice.
Maybe when I get a hold of my tie, I can wear it and I'll be tempted to play it again.
I know someone who has a tie much like the one you want.
I got one exactly like the one you want.
Yeah, I know.
But who knows how much that's going to cost to ship.
We'll see. It can't be that much. It's a fucking piece of fabric.
Yeah, put it in an envelope and say it's a letter.
Yeah, it's a very dense letter.
Recently, this company called Big Herc, they released a new shoe, Toxic Crusaders.
Oh, yeah.
So remember the cartoon? So they've done that. It's a high top. I purchased it. I loved it.
Yeah.
But they got caught with the whole shipping thing, because shipping is now in crazy. They were so nice that they went, look. So they did end up charging me more for shipping, even though it was going to cost them more.
They'll absorb the cost.
They absorbed the cost.
Yeah, right.
Well, recently they've now released Apocalypse Inc. So remember, they were the bad guys in Toxic Crusader.
Oh, fuck. Vaguely.
So I need those shoes as well. And so they sent me an email going, look, these are up. We know shipping is crazy at the moment. We're actually can't subsidize it anymore for you, but we'll give you a discount code.
Yeah, right.
To try and help. And which I thought was really nice. And they gave me 25% off the shoe.
All right.
And so it worked out. The shoe cost me $60 US. Shipping cost me $60 US.
Jesus.
That's how much shipping is at the moment. But I have to say,
Really?
big shout out to Big Herc
Yeah.
for doing that, especially wearing the cost the first time.
What are you saying? Big Herc.
Big Herc, BIGHERC.com.
Okay, that actually is what I thought you said, so that's good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they make some really cool stuff.
So you have Toxic Crusader shoes then, do you?
yes.
yeah, I saw a snap of those. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's great. That is
You
great.
should send a pic to my friend Lloyd.
I loved the,
I think
the
I will.
90s where they started making cartoon series for kids based on R-rated adult movies.
Yeah. Like, that was not a show for kids
No,
No.
no, I mean,
at all.
not a show for
not a
anybody,
show for-
to be honest. But
It's a
Oh, don't
great
get me wrong, I
movie, though.
fucking loved it when I was a kid, but I wasn't meant
Yeah.
to watch it. But even when they did the cartoon series of Police Academy, I'm like, it's about a guy trying to get laid. Like,
does it have the gay nightclub in the children's cartoon
Yeah.
series? I bet it
constant
doesn't.
thread of gay rape.
The
Yeah.
Blue Oyster.
Blue Oyster, that's the one.
Dun, dun, dun.
But yeah, I just thought I'd give them a shout out for
Yeah.
like I just think really
stuff.
great service.
Police Academy is probably what solely spurned my love for accidental nudity in films.
Right.
You know, like there was just so many instances where like a guy was just completely
Naked.
but like humiliated
Oh,
by,
sure.
by suddenly being naked in public. And when I was a kid, I thought that was the funniest thing
funniest.
that could possibly happen to someone.
Yeah. I actually started watching The Three Amigos for some God no reason.
I watched that
I watched
a
that
couple of weeks ago.
recently. Yeah.
Really? Did we all fucking watch that?
I-
That's so weird.
I love the movie, but the audio on that is just so bad because it goes from talking, but then when there's like a fight scene or music, the volume just skyrockets. Finding it really annoying.
Some movies
But I think a
are
lot of
bad like
movies
that.
used to do that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I do. There is definitely, the times where I have to ride the volume control to avoid scaring the shit out of my
Like
pets.
there's a fight scene coming up, so yeah, put it down, and then they start talking again, and you can't hear them.
I find on Netflix I do that a lot. And I don't know whether that's just because of the compression they use on their videos or whether it's just the type of films I watch. But basically, on dialogue, I'm on a certain volume level. And then anytime it's anything else, action sequence, car chase, just music,
I actually
turning it
think
right
it's
down.
on more so on older ones, and I think it's due to that experience of going to the movies.
Right.
So that, like, you'll be watching talking, but when the action scene comes up or something dramatic, they up the volume. So, and it just makes you feel more in the movies, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But it's just Luke making shit up.
No, I'm all for it. Speaking of movies, I curated myself a little film festival this week of movies about video games, and so we've been talking about Billy Mitchell every week for the last fucking million years,
Yeah.
and then Luke, you mentioned last week that you'd got a hold of a documentary called Man vs. Snake.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
I did watch it. And
Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. I loved it.
And the reason why I think I really like this one, the guy it's about, it's just a nice guy. It's not.
Yeah, that's right. So,
no Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell's in there.
Oh, is
He's in
he?
there. He also
Yeah.
he also tries to take credit for
fucking-
how he did it. Like he was giving him advice
Really?
for just like stick with it.
To be fair, it was Walter Day trying to insert Billy Mitchell into every instance. I will watch any film, show, documentary, etc. that has Walter Day in it. I find him absolutely
That's
fascinating.
the Twin Galaxies guy, right?
Yeah, it's the guy who
beard?
started.
Yeah.
It's the guy on the logo of Twin Galaxies.
Yeah.
And
And it's also, if you look, it's what makes it crazy is that Walter, he's in a cult.
yes, he
As
is.
well, if
He
you
is.
look
He's
into
in
it,
a transcendental meditational cult.
Oh,
Yeah,
like David Lynch.
He's sort of one of the only ones that's sort of allowed to go out in public type of thing because of his stature. and-
Yes. And
Right.
apparently his status in the cult is reliant on him being in the media as well. So part of the
Really?
reason that he keeps kind of pushing himself and pushing his kind of key personnel like Billy Mitchell is because it also grants him status within this. I wasn't going to
That's
call it a cult,
fascinating.
but Luke's already said it, so... It also okay. So I watched Man vs. Snake.
I've heard TD is a cult before because I know David Lynch is big on transcendental meditation. So I got interested, and everything that I looked up was just like it's a cult. So.
It certainly seems like a cult. It certainly
I call it like I see it.
So Man vs. Snake is about Nibbler, which it's the most basic game ever. I think we mentioned briefly last week. It's basically Snake and Pac-Man combined. You're a snake. You're in a maze.
Yep.
You got to eat these little dots.
And you keep getting bigger as you go.
Yes, you keep getting
faster
bigger
and faster.
So
Just like in real life.
the way that Nibbler works is that whereas most games only had 6 digits of score, this one had 9, so you could get 1 billion, right? But the only way to get 1 billion was to play for 40 consecutive hours. It was the only way to get that high score.
It's time-based.
So if you want to top out Nibbler to the 1 billion, you have to just keep playing.
It's not actually time based. Like there's a timer for you to do it. It's just
just takes that long.
That's how long. Just to get that with points.
It takes that long to accumulate points, and the only way you can do it, because you would say, I mean, the first thing I thought of was like, how do you go to the bathroom during that time, right? Nibbler, you can increase your lives by playing well. So the only way to take a break is to increase the lives where you've got some to spare and then burn them while you go away. Because if you leave Nibbler there, he'll just keep going around the screen, around the edges, getting longer, getting faster, and then eventually bite his own tail and it'll reset. So you just have to burn lives.
That's funny. Or just tape a little bag to your dick.
I thought about that too. Well, I mean...
Sorry, a large bag. I shouldn't have said a little bag.
Because I would
for the security of a large
pouch.
bag. Just a garbage bag taped to your dick.
And not just to your dick, Matt. 40 hours.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Fair enough, yeah.
And you can play longer if you want.
You can. You can play longer. So this... I also watched another documentary this week that's worth mentioning too, called The Ecstasy of Order, the Tetris Masters, which is not a particularly well-made documentary. It certainly doesn't have the kind of intensity of King of Kong or Man vs. Snake, but it is quite good. The most interesting things about it is learning stuff about Tetris that you didn't know before. The only way to... get a high score on Tetris is to get to level 29, right? And that's basically when they're dropping so fast you can't move them left or right. You just literally don't have the time to move them left or right.
So they land where they land.
So basically what you have to do is when you get to level 27, 28, if you're a top player, you have to just start stacking on either side and leave a gap down the middle so that when they start falling so fast that you just can't move them, they're actually just falling in place and possibly even causing Tetris as they go up, creating lines.
That's fucking great.
I know. Yeah. And I watched a third one as well that I want to mention just briefly. So Man vs. Snake. Luke, you watched the whole thing yet?
Yes.
Yeah. So Man vs. Snake is mostly about Tim McVeigh, who got a high score when he was a kid, and Twin Galaxies put him up as the record holder on that. But then it came out that some other little kid around the same time in Italy got an even higher score even earlier, but Twin Galaxies just didn't know about it. And so technically he hasn't had the record. And so he wants to go back and compete for it again.
And get it.
And competing against him is Dwayne Richard. And if you've seen King versus Kong, if you've seen King of Kong, you've seen Dwayne Richard as well. He's the guy with the dreadlocks who also plays Kong and Pac-Man and those old games too. In fact, he is on a one-man crusade against Billy Mitchell right now. And he has apparently spent, I've read online that it cost him $70,000 of his own money to make his own little documentary, which you can watch for free on YouTube. And it's called Billy Mitchell, The Perfect Fraud Man. And it's close to 3 hours long, so he does not hold back.
Has he invented the word fraudman?
Fraud man, not fraudster. It's just fraud man, one word, compound word.
Okay.
This was the guy that was a bit of contention in King of Kong, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yes.
when Dwayne gave him the console that he beat it on the first time, and that's why they were questioning whether it was real because they didn't trust him.
Yes, and there's also a bit of contention when he broke the Nibbler record as well when he was going against Tim McVeigh. And the reason that they found out was because they played on cabinets supplied by Twin Galaxies, but they brought their own board, right?
Yep.
Oh,
and,
sure.
And his fucked up during the competition, and he had to withdraw because it froze. He then went home and took a video of himself playing it again and broke the record. But then people on the internet stacked it against videos of other people and found out that his in-between games, his load screens were loading at double the speed of anyone else's when you stack them side by side. And they realized that he had tampered with his board in such a way that it speeds up your load screen. So he withdrew to his...
Actually, just speeding up the load times does make a huge difference because it means that instead of having to do it for 40 hours, it could go down to 35.
Yeah,
which
right.
means you're getting that advantage that way.
It's a huge advantage to having 5 hours less gaming
fascinating.
when you're sitting in your own feces.
So much drama for such a weird little
No, but the
corner
thing
of the
is,
world.
he withdrew. He withdrew. To his credit, he withdrew his record. He called Twin Galaxies and said, "Take me down." Apparently, my board is faulty. But I mean, it certainly seems like his.
It's faulty, it loads fast.
Yeah, it's faulty. It's really helping me win.
Yeah.
Which makes it. I mean, if I had been accused of cheating and was still kind of known in various circles as being a little bit of a cheat, I probably wouldn't be going after Billy Mitchell so hard.
Yeah,
for
totally.
cheating. I would want to
Stay
just
out of the
stay
limelight.
the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know. They really don't like each other. It's like a bad breakup or something happened.
Also, I mean, just from seeing King of Kong and some of the other ancillary things, these people just like the attention. I don't know if it's even about any of the actual, like integrity of, arcade game scores or anything like that. They just want to be the one who's getting the attention kind of thing.
Well, look, I mean,
Because it's not like there's money or anything behind this.
no.
Well, it
and
might be a bit.
Billy Mitchell's already been given the Gamer of the Century award by Nintendo, which was a made-up award just to give to him. I've also found out that
Just to shut him up.
Billy Mitchell is actually basically personally funds Twin Galaxies. Did you know that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. That's funny.
Which is why in King of Kong when he sends in his tape of himself playing Kong, and you've got Walter Day going, yeah, it seems a bit dodgy. I mean, the score changes, a bit glitchy and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then he just goes through and puts it through anyway immediately.
He's like, no, okay, fair enough. Yep. You don't even hear what Billy says, but he goes, all right then.
Yeah. I think what he
Understood.
said was, I fund you entirely.
Yeah. Do you want to have a job, Walter?
Yeah. So I think a big part of it is,
When the world stops being on fire, can we go to Twin Galaxies together?
I'd love to go to Twin Galaxies.
Where is Twin Galaxies?
Actually, it's not too far from you, Matt. It's in... Hold on, let's find out.
I thought it was in the middle part of America.
I think it's like Midwest. Twin Galaxies Arcade.
Twin Galaxies Arcade.
It is. I think it's like North Carolina or somewhere, right?
Oh, that's not far. Well, it is, but it isn't. It isn't.
I mean, it's not
Iowa.
Iowa, is it? Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
the middle, right?
That's a drive. I think that's probably like 12-ish hours. Let me check. I might make it.
Which arcade did they have the Donkey Kong Championship in with Steve Wiebe? Funland? Fun something?
Might have been Funland.
Fun Spot?
Fun Spot. That one's closer to you, I think, right?
Let's have a look. Okay, so
Yeah, but
it's going to take
also to go.
20 hours to get to Iowa from here. So
Okay.
Well, I really want to go to Twin Galaxies because that is sort of.
Fun Spot's
the
in New Hampshire.
headquarters.
Yeah, we can do that easy. Yeah, I mean, but look, we could do it.
Yeah.
We go to Iowa.
If there's still
We go to
an
Iowa
America
and New
next year.
Hampshire. Fuck
There
it.
might not be in America, Matt, because you guys are going to burn it down. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, that's true.
I guess that's your aim. Just looking at the news, I can only assume you're trying to have it implode on itself.
I think we're just trying to infect each other. That seems to be what's going on at the moment. I'm not quite sure I understand, but
Infect each other with coronavirus, with racism, with culture.
yeah, it's all spreading.
Speaking of wokeness, Matt, can you explain to me, please, why the OK hand signal has been removed from Call of Duty?
This one's weird, right? Because I mean, on the one hand, I'm like, fine, if it's being used as they say, that's fine. But I'm just so confused about this whole thing. So, at some point, the OK hand signal, like I think everybody probably knows what I mean by that. You know, where you just put your finger and your thumb together and you go like this. You can't see what I'm doing, listeners, but I'm doing what I described. You know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's that, and it's also that thing where there used to be that game where you would put your fingers like that, and if someone looked at them, you got to punch them. Did you ever play that stupid game?
Oh yeah,
I never played it, but I know of it.
Whatever that was called.
Oh, I've been punched.
But that symbol has been associated with white supremacy.
Do we know how?
What way?
Why?
This article says, like I said, I'm not quite sure, but this article indicates it came from 4chan at some point, and it was a joke. I think. So my understanding is, and I could be wrong, please let me know if I'm wrong, I think someone started it as a joke saying people are doing that and it's to signal they're white supremacists. I think because Trump does it a lot. That might be why.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe it was, I don't know. But they're saying now, because it was a joke and everybody knows about the joke, now white supremacists can do it and say, I was just joking. And so you can't do it anymore. You're not allowed to do it anymore. And I'm like, that's so fucking weird.
Okay, but if I'm a diver now and someone like gets my attention to see if I'm okay, I can't give them the I'm okay signal.
No, because they've got a mask on me, and there could be any. You know who they are.
I believe
that
in Europe, the OK the OK symbol with your hand is what you kind of hold up in a bar if you're trying to let other guys know that you're up for a bit of gay sex.
Well, that may be the case. I don't know.
But maybe
all I know is
maybe it's only white
this country,
supremacists who are up for a bit of gay sex.
In this country, you can't do it anymore.
Right. So
because
the Nazi Sieg Heil salute was getting a bit too on the nose, was it? And now they've just started.
I think that's the thing is that, I mean, that is a little obvious. So I think, like I said, the article says this started as a joke. People were saying, oh, when someone does the OK symbol, that means they're a white supremacist. But then everybody learned about the joke, and then now the racists are like, oh, that means we can do it. And then so now
means
no
they
one
can't.
can do it.
That's interesting. And actually, that's probably my favorite thing about cancel culture. If there's anything we don't like, all we have to do is tie it into racism.
Yeah.
And it'll just get cancelled. Is there something we don't like anymore? And we can just spread it around on 4chan saying, this is what we do in the white supremacist community. And pretty soon it'll be cancelled.
Cancel culture. Let's do it for that.
Yeah. I mean, look, to be honest, I don't care. I'm happy to not make that symbol anymore if people don't want me to. I just find the whole thing very strange that's how we got to this place. Because, I mean...
Yeah, I still don't understand why it's considered that. Oh, I think I did see it. It's because the W is like, when you do it, so you've got 3 fingers up like the W, and then the O is like the O for power.
Okay.
That's what
so the W
it's turned into. But
O for power. That's how I learned the alphabet. For now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whiskey, tango.
I guess the
power.
O is for, oh my God, whites are great.
Anyway, yeah, so they're removing it from Call of Duty.
No, I know what it is.
I
think that's the hand. I think that's the position your hand is in when you're holding a tiki torch at a white supremacist rally.
Yeah, it's weird. But I mean, I guess this means they can ruin all sorts of fun things now. So that's a shame.
I still don't understand.
They don't even have to
how
do it. Racists don't even have to be doing it. Someone just has to say racists are doing it, and then we can't do it anymore. Fucking weird.
Yeah, the first time I've heard that might be like linked with racism was the fact that they've removed it from Call of Duty. That's the first time I've heard it. It's not like something you know, like in passing or anything like that.
No,
or...
I guess I knew about it, but then maybe that's because I'm in the US, so I've seen this garbage all over the fucking news.
Are there any people of color in Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Then maybe people were doing. I mean,
no, I don't think it's related to Call of Duty at all, other than the game features it, and then maybe somebody said, "Oh, you got a white supremacist symbol in there," and they went, "You know what? Let's just get it out of there, and then we don't have to worry about this shit." I'm sure that's what happened.
Just adding fuel to the fire. Because I agree with you, Luke. I think yesterday this didn't mean that, and maybe some nerds on the internet were talking about it. But
that's the point.
It does.
I think that what you're describing is correct, but that happened before they removed it from Call of Duty. And the reason they removed it from Call of Duty is because that had already happened.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Streisand effect.
My question is, how do we let that happen? It's so bizarre. Well, it'd be like, you got an earring in the wrong ear, and when we were kids, you know what that meant.
That meant you were gay.
Yeah.
So the way to combat that, just get it in both ears.
Yeah.
And the year that you weren't supposed to have it in, it changed. Because that was the whole point, was that it wasn't a real thing. It was a joke. It was just so that you could call people gay. Like, it's not a real thing. It was a fucking stupid thing. Anyway.
Now I get everything pierced.
Everything.
Everything.
Are you right or left foreskin? Trick question.
My foreskin is long gone.
I thought it was just
The
long.
guy.
Go on.
The guy that claims to have the largest dick in the world, that is basically what his dick is.
His foreskin.
Have you heard about this? The guy who thinks he has the largest dick in the world, he weighs his dick down. So he puts weight on it, and it's caused his foreskin to stretch into some terrible looking thing. He just have it wrapped in bandages all the time. And
oh, God.
There is a subculture out there of men who are trying to regain their foreskin.
Yeah, I've seen that on Penn and Teller. They have like a device.
Which one out of Penn and Teller is trying to regain their foreskin?
They did an episode on it, and it was about how, because apparently culturally here in the US, I don't know how it is these days, but you're very heavily socially pressured into doing it. And so they did an episode on whether you need to fucking worry about getting your kids circumcised, and whether you should be doing it, whether it's morally
Let me guess. At
acceptable.
the end of the episode, Penn and Teller decided it doesn't fucking matter.
No, they decided that you probably shouldn't do it because
Right.
you let the kid fucking decide.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, who are you to modify the kid's body before it can consent? I think that's where they fell down on it. But yes, they had a guy on there who demonstrated this device that he has, that he stretches it over and kind of clamps it on there. And he wears that throughout the day to restore it.
Jesus. In the Philippines, you don't do it at birth. You do it at age 13. And it is voluntary, but you are socially pressured into doing it. And
Yeah.
if you drive around the city in Manila, say, you'll see
Crippled kids.
No. You'll see billboards. You'll see billboards that are like "Time to become a man." Oh. I mean, I'm fine with having had it done. I'm glad it was done when I was, before I could form memories.
Yeah, totally.
Form an attachment.
To be honest, I would have liked to have been asked. So I tend to side with Penn and Teller that you shouldn't genitally mutilate your children.
Yeah.
Let them
'Cause they went into,
mutilate their own genitals if they want later in life.
The common reasons given for why you would want it done, and most of them were fairly,
I think the main
not
reason
great.
is
Not very compelling.
even religious or for any other reason other than that's what
Sanitary.
I have, so that's what I'm going to do to my kid.
That's actually that's the actual reason. I think these days mostly it's
you just think you're supposed to.
that they want. Yeah,
They're worried that they will be judged if they don't have it done, and so they'll do it. I think that's
Man, I don't even know if it goes that far. I think it's just like, well, I want his to look like mine, Andrew Roy style.
If I'm going to have to look at this
That's
baby's dick, I want it to look
Okay,
familiar.
it's like-
I don't want it being marginally bigger than mine.
I don't want my son to be able to stretch his dick out like that weirdo on the internet.
because it's not like people are going to look down on you if you don't get your child circumcised.
Look down on it.
Why are you showing? Because to me, I don't know. I'm not a parent, but I assume you just don't walk around showing your baby stick to people.
Are you?
Look, none of us
could be wrong.
None of us are
That's what I said,
parents.
not a parent.
But this
Yeah.
is something we should probably figure out before
Not qualified.
any of
Not
us
quali-
become.
Yeah, exactly. I'll Google that before I do it, just to make sure.
now that it's been brought up. If you're a parent,
Yeah.
write in. Are we meant to be going around showing our kids' dicks to people?
Take a look at this.
Should I have gotten this bit cut off?
The name of the film you mentioned, The Ecstasy of Order, segues nicely into someone I'd like to nominate for Geek of the Week.
Oh,
And that is the composer of The Ecstasy of Gold, Ennio Morricone. He has passed away this week at the age of, I think, like 80-something.
he must
You know
be
what?
getting on.
Yeah.
91.
There you go. All right. At the age of 91. So he had a good run. And he composed fucking shitloads of
A
music.
lot.
Yeah. Are you familiar with him, Luke?
I'm looking through IMDb now to see if there's anything he's done that I have seen.
Let me
Shout
tell you.
him out.
Are you familiar with this?
Wow, wow, wow.
You ever heard that before?
I think I have. Is there more to it?
You have.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Dun, 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 dun.
No?
No, I know it, but what do I know it from?
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
I've just found something that he did that I liked. So
Hateful
yes, he
Eight?
gets Geek of the Week. Red Sonja.
Oh, sure. All right. I wouldn't have thought to suggest that, but all right, good. I think the last film he did may have been The Hateful Eight. Is that true?
So you're gonna say
Let me
the last
scroll
one
back
he
to
did
the
with
top.
Red
He's done
Sonja.
519 things. His last one was On the Road. No, he's done a
Yeah, no, you're right.
He's
He
always
was still
worked.
going. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, arguably responsible for the modern film score, the way that films are scored, because he did all those spaghetti westerns and everyone was like, that's fucking awesome. And then it just changed the way that they did it in Hollywood to suit. So The Thing, he did the score for The Thing. That's another one for you, Luke.
Yep.
One of my favorite film composers, fantastic, and he will be missed.
Did. Wasn't COVID, was it? I don't know.
I don't
why,
think
but
so.
It makes it worse if it was, in a way.
I would dislike that. I don't think so. I think, oh no, he fell, fractured a femur, and then he died at a hospital.
Oh, shit. Did he fall from that block that the conductor stands on to conduct the orchestra?
You know what? I don't think it's.
He fell down to the pit.
It doesn't say, but that would be. I mean, if I was him, I guess that would be how I'd want to go. Doing what I loved. I love this though. His lawyer distributed a statement that he wrote himself from hospital that said, "I, Ennio Morricone, am dead." Fucking can't beat that.
At what point did he write that?
I assume in his last moments, I imagine. But like, that's amazing.
Wow. That's like Schrodinger's Ennio Morricone. You know?
Sure. Yeah, as soon as he slipped, he was both dead and alive.
Jesus. He wrote.
Hey,
he
his
was dead.
first Academy Award was for The Hateful Eight. That's amazing.
That's like
It's a long time coming.
probably an honorary thing at that stage, right? I don't necessarily remember that being his best.
No, it's catchy. The main theme is catchy, but it's not.
Do you remember?
it's no-
I should watch that.
It's no The Ecstasy of Gold. So
which one is The Ecstasy of Gold?
it's the one Metallica used to use it before they came out on stage.
Yeah. Yeah, that is great.
That one. It's fucking tops.
One of the things he did was Two Girls, One Cup, the show. I
Okay.
have no idea what that is.
Okay.
All right.
Less said
Maybe he
about
was a
that,
bit. I mean, maybe he was a bit hard for
was
work
like-
at some point.
This has no music. You know what would make this better? It's like a fucking hardcore.
Wow, wow, wow.
Well, I think that's why he's so prolific. I think every time he whistles, somebody records it, and there's a score.
Yeah. Well, they do feature whistling a lot. Fistful of Dollars has a whistling motif as well.
What I love about that main leitmotif in Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is that he it's the actual melody is quite short and very simple, but
Yes.
they
Most
play
of
it
his
on
are, yeah.
so many different instruments
Yeah.
to connote different things, different characters, what's going on. It'll just it'll be a whistle and it'll be just a nice little quip, but then it'll be on this like dirty electric guitar that's down tuned.
Yeah. But it always reminds you of what it is.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
emotive. Yeah, he's a great
good at that
composer.
shit. Well, I'm glad you've approved it because I was going to argue with you if you didn't. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't
not enough
commit
nerdy
suicide.
films until he saw Red Sonja. He did not commit
Yeah.
suicide,
Yep.
or did he?
no, I don't think so.
At 91,
Red
he was
Sonja
like,
made it.
just fucking take me. Sweet death.
No, he had fucking shows lined up. He was still going. Like, because I was like,
Still whistling.
I was like, I wonder if I could go, because now that he's passed, although with COVID it's difficult, but I was like, I wonder if someone would, if they would do like a, the music of Ennio Morricone kind of show, because I would love to go to that.
Yeah,
So I
that'd be
kind of Googled, and he had shows lined up for later in the year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I don't know how people could do that. Like, he's 91 and still going. I'm hoping to make 60 and still be a little bit active.
Yeah.
In what
He'll
ways
be
are you
remembered
active
for
now?
your, yeah. Well, he's fairly prolific actor, aren't you?
Oh, that's true.
He's known for his true achievements. Achievements?
Yep. I love my achievements.
Did you get my
stretching
message
the
on
word
True
active
Achievements the other
quite,
day, by the way? Luke?
Did I what, sorry?
Did you get my message on True Achievements?
No, I didn't.
Sent you a message. Too busy looking at my score, not
I
your
normally-
inbox. Or I've sent a message to
going.
the wrong person, which will be embarrassing for
Yeah.
me based on what I sent.
You've sent it to Duke Alderson.
Oh. You're coming for me.
Oh.
Yeah. That would be awkward
catch
if it
up.
was just
Why
some
don't
random
you-
person coming for you.
Who's
cops
Matt
turn up my house.
Ham?
So you've
From the
joined.
Australian comedy
You
circuit.
finally joined.
I did. I joined. And then promptly forgot about it. Until just
It's
now.
really good if you get stuck. They have a lot of guides on there, and that's where I get most of my news from.
Very good.
I'd like to talk TV, and I want to ask you a question, Matt, about something that you've started watching. But if I may, just before I segue to that, I just want to tell you about a TV show that I think I'm officially done with.
Go on.
I've stopped watching Dark.
Oh, you've stopped.
Is it because you couldn't quite catch up or work out what was happening on from the last
I mean,
season?
yes,
or-
but
going
that's,
nowhere?
That's always, I look. You know when you watch a mystery and you're like, oh, I wonder what is at the heart of this mystery, and then as the more characters they add in and the more ridiculous plot, at a certain point you go, there isn't anything in the middle of this. It's just going to
Like
be
Lost.
Yeah, it's lost. It's lost itself for sure. There are
mystery
now
box.
timelines stacked on timelines.
God.
There's characters from every point in their lives, and that was always there, but it was always poignant. And now it's just a cacophony of plot. And
I think what they should do to show the different timelines to help keep track, they should give each timeline like its own tinge of color. So if they're like in the present, it's like a very just a light green you can see. If they're
Look,
go
Luke,
back
that's
to
a
this
very
period,
good
it's
point,
just-
except that now
Yeah.
they've all converged and there's people from all of these different times and different alternate timelines all coexisting now, trying
Fucking
to
hell.
fucking have a cohesive story that I'm meant to follow and enjoy. And I
yeah, that
realized,
just sounds far too
I
confusing.
realized at a certain point I just wasn't enjoying it. So I've turned it off. So not enjoying things has led me to ask Matt, what did you Jenner think of The Alienist?
On theme, we did not enjoy The Alienist and we stopped watching it.
You probably did the right thing, because when I recommended it to you, I'd only watched an episode or two, and I was still holding out hope that it was going to continue being
It's
quite good.
odd. It's odd.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a lot to like about it, but then it's also got a lot to dislike, and I just don't know how to feel about it. Like, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's like the tone and the tone is not quite the right word, because I think the tone is the weird part, because it flip-flops
I know
between.
exactly what you mean by that, yeah.
And some of the performances, I'm like, is that the only take they got?
Yeah.
Like, that's the take of that they put in this show?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
And then
Season 2 starts this week.
know.
season 1 ended with what can only be described
Spoilers.
as a Deus Ex Machina. It's not a spoiler because someone just made something up and all the characters went along with it. You know what I mean? It was a very disappointing end to what was meant to be a mystery.
Yeah.
But I agree with you about tone, Matt, because like you'll have something that's quite deep, very dark.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
the dialogue that discusses those things feels like it'd be written for children. And you're like, what am I watching?
Yeah. Perhaps one of the children that was brutally murdered and had their eyeballs ripped out in the scene prior to that. Like,
Yeah.
and then it's just like all goofy. Like,
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. And,
obviously
you know,
it's working for some people because it's been quite popular and they got a second season.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
and it's- But I just couldn't get into it.
To me, it's just a bit too TV. It's a bit too free to air telly.
Yeah.
I think it just needs to be a little bit more HBO, and it goes there from time to time, but it just doesn't stay there. It's inconsistent. And so, as you say, Matt,
Yeah.
with the love story, you know, you'll have a goofy romance love triangle, and you'll be like, oh, we're doing all this wacky shit, and we're in love, and then it's like, well, now she's fucking dead.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, fuck, okay.
And like Luke Evans is like, oh, I'm bumbling. Oh, now I'm trapped in a brothel with like a bunch of ladyboys, and it's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like,
Also-
I don't understand.
I'm no historian, but were there that many ladyboys in New York City at the turn of the century? Because there are.
I'm happy to
a lot
ignore that.
in
Like,
this.
not ignore that. Like, that's fine. It's just that the tone of it is just so strange.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I love it. I love
Whatever.
it though when there was that inevitable moment like halfway through the series where like they're trying to track down this ladyboy killer, and he just turns to his little stable boy and he's like, "Well, the only way to solve this, you're going to have to put on a dress and go and get fucked by a strange man."
Weird.
And that kid must have been waiting the entire time for it, just being like, "Fucking please don't think of it. Please don't think of this idea."
Just don't even look at me while
Yeah,
you're
that's
thinking. I'm just going to slink away. so you can't
Every
think of
time they start talking about it, he just turns around, backs out of the room.
Yeah. It's just so odd because they're all good actors and actresses in things.
Yeah.
But in this,
Matt, did you watch The Nick?
No.
Okay, watch that. Same setting, but with a consistent tone.
Okay.
I guarantee
Yeah,
you'll love
I-
The Nick, except they're not detectives or you know, psychic detectives. They're not alienists. They're surgeons. And
Yeah.
there's this kind of undertone of dramatic irony where the cutting age in surgery at the turn of the century is stuff that you just would know as a child in the 20th century not to do.
Sure. That's like, yeah, watching modern crime shows where it's even, you know, like there's the Golden State Killer, for example, wasn't worried about DNA because he didn't know what the fuck it was. So
Yeah.
just goes to show. Yeah, doesn't matter. If you're thinking of committing a crime,
Oh, I filled them
you can't
with
think
my
of it.
DNA.
You can't even think of everything. Yeah, exactly. You don't even know
Yeah, you
how
got to
they're
think of
gonna catch
things
you.
that won't be invented yet.
Yeah, not worth it, mate. Trust me. I watched something else that we had talked about.
Oh yeah.
That I'm going to click there so you know what it is. That Dan, you had said maybe it would be worth me giving it a rewatch. That is a film by the name of Interstellar.
Oh.
I rewatched Interstellar this week,
Did
and
you?
I was watching it, and I was like, "This is fucking so good." Was I wrong? And then, spoilers. Then, honestly, this is the bit. It's not even none of the science stuff. I'm fine with all that. There's literally the bit where she's in the bedroom when she's all grown up and she's Jessica Chastain now, and she goes, "Oh, it was my dad. The whole time it was my dad." That just that. I was like,
Yeah.
there's no reason she would have figured that out. And it would have been so easy to give her one. Like he's in there and he's doing stuff, and then he goes, "Oh, I know. I'll just say it's me, Dad."
It's me. It's your dad. Yeah.
But that never happens, and then that just bugs me. So
Yeah, I agree.
fucking fantastic film, but then the ending just made me go, "Oh."
Yeah, because I rewatched it and I tried not to be hard on it, and for that reason, I really, really enjoyed it. And I was like you, Matt. I was like watching it, going, "Oh no, this is good. I'm into this."
It's fucking fantastic.
And
most of it is fantastic.
Yeah, it's just a couple of character motivations that let it down. I think
Yep.
Anne Hathaway's character motivations let it down to a point, but then again, you could just argue that she's a flawed character and that they're all just kind of part of her, general fucked upness. But then for me, it wasn't even the fact that she figures it out. It was the fact that at some point around that time, she just suddenly decided it was important to figure it out when she just spent 30
that's what I mean.
years with no interest in getting to know her dad.
Exactly. And the only reason it's then is because it's like it feels like it should be then because it's being intercut with him in having gone through the black hole. He's in the Tesseract.
Yeah.
So it feels like they're in at the same time, but that's not true because he's outside of time.
Yeah.
Like she could have fucking figured this out at any point.
Yes, especially since that scene is actually very
Or
tense.
never figured it out.
Like she's set fire to the cane fields.
Yes.
And they're burning, and her brother's out there put out the fire, and they know they've only got that amount of time before he gets back and catches them in the house. It's very thrilling, but the motivation for her even being there is bewildering because you're like, well, just go and come back another time. Like
That
we've just
Cooper,
established that
Matthew
time is
McConaughey,
relative.
has infinite time to send this message to her. So I don't know. It's just that aspect of it. When I think about it, it kind of falls apart, and that's exactly how I felt after the first time I watched it. Except this time, I didn't forget that everything leading up to that was fucking amazing. The first time I saw it
really
bugged me so much that I just forgot about how good the rest of it was. So I'm glad I rewatched it, and I love it. It's fantastic. It has made me rethink my opinion on it. It's just that one bit still bugs me. It just didn't ruin it for me this time, like it did the first time.
Would you recommend it to Luke?
Have you not seen it, Luke?
No, I have not.
The other thing about it, and this is not a criticism as such, and it actually leads me to another Christopher Nolan film that I started to watch. With Interstellar, a lot of stuff is said once very quickly, and if you didn't catch it, you would have no fucking idea what was going on sometimes. There's a lot in this film, and sometimes things like sciencey things, they go, "Oh, that's because of relativity, we go down to the planet." That's actually not a really good example because they do show that quite well. But there's other sciencey things that, if you were like, "Wait, why did that happen?" If you didn't catch one line of dialogue, you wouldn't know. And then it got me thinking about. I tried to watch Dunkirk a few weeks ago
For the first time.
For the first time, I'd never seen it, and I had trouble with it for a few reasons because it's kind of odd as a film because it's not traditional film. I think fair to say, like it's kind of more. This is what happened, and it's not particularly about anyone in particular, or like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely, yeah.
And I also had trouble with Dunkirk because literally everybody looks the fucking same in it, and I like there's like 10 soldiers in there, and I know I'm like one of those guys I've been watching for 20 minutes, but I can't tell which one it is anymore. They all look
haircut,
it's just
same clothes,
same haircut. It's just bunch of white guys in literally the same clothes with literally the same haircut. I can't tell them apart, so I don't even know who I'm supposed to care about.
The other thing was, and I'm sure they told you at the start, but I missed it somehow, or I misunderstood it. But I didn't realize that of the 3 stories that were being told in the same movie time, one takes place over the course of a day, one takes place over the course of an hour, and one takes place over the course of 5 minutes. And
see, I didn't.
yeah, neither did I. But they're stretched out so that they occupy the same amount of time in front of your eyeballs while you're watching.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So it's another.
So he's
kind of
playing the time
relativity
again.
thing. Yeah.
Well, here's the other problem with that is that I didn't finish Dunkirk, not because I wasn't. I would have kept watching it, except I paused it to go and do something. Plex that I was watching it in, like shit itself, and I cannot get it to restart from where I was at.
Ah.
And I was just like, you know what?
You're not going to find it.
Too much hassle.
Whatever. I'll watch it another time.
Look, it's definitely not his best for all the reasons you mentioned. I think it is worth watching to the end.
I would like to. Like I said, Interstellar reminded me. I was like, oh shit, I never finished Dunkirk. But then I guess it's not a good sign that I forgot. You know? So he's like one of my favorite filmmakers, like no question.
Yeah,
so
sure. Absolutely.
I want to give it another shot. So that, like I said, didn't even dislike it. Just had some trouble with it, and then couldn't get it to work again, and forgot it existed.
Yeah, you weren't entertained enough to actually go back.
It's not
to it.
really entertaining. Look, the thing is about Nolan though is, I think my favorite Nolan film is still Memento, probably.
Sure.
Because everything you need to know about the film is in the film, and it's confusing.
Right.
It's like a puzzle, but it's all there. It doesn't rely on you knowing other gimmicky things like one story takes place in an hour, one in a week, and one in a day. You know what I mean? Like, it's,
Sure. Yeah.
as some of his other ones did. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does next. But the most disappointing thing for me is not that it's been pushed back, so I won't get to see it, but it's that there's far too much time for hype to build, and far too much time for people to start trying to guess what it's about. And you know, they keep releasing new trailers and new TV spots and stuff. I was like, I don't want to see it. Just show me the fucking movie before I start thinking about it too much.
Yeah. I think that happens with a lot. Like that, you get an announcement of something, and then they keep hyping it up for years. Whereas I like the idea of they announce it and it'll be out next week.
See, but him, like, he's like begging them basically, hold on to it and put it out in cinemas. Don't fucking release this on streaming. And this is one case where I know that there's some. You could argue that that's like a money thing, but I think with him, like, I'm assuming Tenet, like most of his other recent films, was shot on some fucking IMAX, 100mm film or something like that, and it would literally hurt him for people to not experience it the way that he wanted. Like with those scenes in The Dark Knight that he shot on IMAX, and then I think he's done it ever since then.
I felt it a bit distracting. I was about to say disturbing. Distracting in Interstellar, where it kept switching ratios.
Yes.
At the cinema, I think that works, but on home video, it's just...
It's weird.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what?
It looks like a mistake. It just looks like...
It draws attention to the craft, which it's not supposed to do. Yeah. That, and I think, like, in the case of someone like him and someone like Quentin Tarantino, he got pissed off about Star Wars booting him from the cinema. Like, again, I don't think those two guys, I would give, like, they're upset artistically.
Yeah, I agree.
So, like, I know he's getting a lot of flack for this Tenet thing because of COVID, but like I said, I think it really just is, it would upset him for people not to see it in a theater.
I agree. And those two examples that you've just used are two guys who also refuse to shoot digitally as well. So they're like, no, I've shot on film. This needs to be projected.
Yeah. Like, they're wankers, but we love them for it.
I want to put out a film to you both to watch, and I'm going to watch this again too. It's Ad Astra that came out last year. Yeah. This was another one where there was times where I was watching this going, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. And times where I was like, why is this happening? And I'm interested to hear your opinions on that too. And I want to see if those things that bothered me the first time around bother me for a second time around.
I would like to basically watch that.
If you took 2001: A Space Odyssey and Apocalypse Now, two of my favorite films, and made them fuck, this would be their baby.
Right. All right. Yeah, it's Brad Pitt, right? I know. I've seen it. I've just and actually every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I should watch that, and then I never did. Do you know what I watched? I don't know if I mentioned this. I finally watched on a flight. This was a couple of years back now, probably. I don't know if I've mentioned it. I watched it on a flight to England. I watched Oblivion.
Oh yeah,
Oblivion.
It's the guy who did Tron Legacy, right?
Tom Cruise lives in a spirally house on a planet.
Yeah. That was a really good movie.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Like, it was didn't blow my mind or anything, but it was really solid sci-fi. I'm surprised it got, because I seem to remember it being shit on a lot. I thought it was really good.
I think it came out too close to his other sci-fi movie.
Oh, yeah.
Which was excellent. and
Edge
it
of
kind
Tomorrow?
of overshadowed it. Yeah, I watched that
Yeah.
again recently. I really love that movie. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
I keep meaning to go see that, but I don't know why I haven't seen that.
See that, Luke. Ignore all the other films we've told you to watch and watch that.
Oh, you know
Live,
what's...
Die, Repeat tagline.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
That should have been the
just named
title
it.
because I just
I
can
agree.
never remember the name
Yeah.
of it.
Do you know what's on at theaters here right now? Because they're trying to get people in there. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Empire Strikes. Oh, okay.
Oh, and Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. Like all sorts of good shits on at the movies right now.
I heard they're re-releasing Bill and Ted in some theaters in America to get people hyped.
Man. I mean, it's not really a... I mean, that might be fun to see with other people, but it's not one that I would... I just wish to see Bill and Ted on the big screen like it was
Yeah, I know.
intended.
And I'm not even, I'm not even all that tempted to go back and stream it or download it,
I'm scared to go to a fucking movie theater, to be honest. The way things are.
Yeah,
I honestly don't see the big thing about going to the movies anymore.
No.
It doesn't need to be a thing.
No, I agree.
I know that's going to upset those directors, but
Yeah.
my screen's fine now. I don't have people talking or on their phones.
Yeah.
Still don't understand how people do. But then I'm also very impatient, so I may go see Bill and Ted at the movies.
I would love to see Bill and Ted at the movies, but I just don't know. We'll see.
Well, I'm talking about the new one.
No, I know.
Yep.
I'll have to see how things are by then. They're shutting
got
everything down again over
6
here now,
weeks.
so. 6 weeks? Yeah, see, I don't know.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm not going to the movie 6 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Although, see, I say that, but like, if Tenet comes out, I'm going to have to go and see it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to have
And
to
it-
gauge
mate,
things.
if
Actually, you know
James
what? Here in
Bond
Rhode Island,
comes
they're
out,
doing
I'm gonna
things
have to
pretty
go and
well.
see it.
So, what's that?
James Bond. No Time
Yeah,
to
you're
Die.
right.
There's no way I'm going to not see that on the weekend it comes out.
They're handling things pretty well here in Rhode Island, so maybe it's possible.
The only thing is, like, you have to book your seats. They'll keep you separated from people. They're staggering, so
Yeah,
might be okay.
probably better than usual, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this kind
But
of
that's-
restaurants with no one at the table next to you.
Yeah. Although we were in Connecticut on the weekend, and I guess states are so different here, and I called ahead to this restaurant that we just found one near where we were, and I was like, oh, you got outside seats available, and they're like, yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, do we need to give you a name or anything? And they're like, no. I was like, oh, all right.
Isn't that a big thing there that you...
So we got there, and it was just like as if there was no pandemic. Like it was like super weird, and then so we didn't go because I was like, that's fucking weird. Like, I don't know, not worth the risk.
Yeah, you got to
Maybe
take
I'm
it
wrong,
seriously.
but
No, it's not worth the risk. If you get this, it can kill you, so...
it just seemed weird. I guess they're not enforcing it there because here in Rhode Island you can't do that. You got to book a table. You got to be like X distance apart and all this kind of stuff. I just expected it was like that everywhere, but apparently not.
We did have that, like, you had to put your a name and contact just in case something went through. But they've now... That's not in place anymore because we're into phase 3.
Yeah, right.
But I think we're going back up because there's starting to be hotspots
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're doing
picking
that
up.
too.
You know where
Okay,
the chances of catching a deadly virus are dangerously high?
I'm spreading diseases around in
In the after party.
Yeah. If you don't know what the after party
Already?
is, head to patreon.com/multiple nerdgasm. You'll find all the info you need.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it then please subscribe in iTunes to receive episodes automatically. We'll see you next time.